What is going on, my fast friends? Welcome to the Moto-R channel. Today we are with the Aprilia RS660, the MT-09 and Jamese's Indian Scout. We are in the beautiful Rogers, Arkansas. We are deep into the Ozarks, about to head to Eureka Springs, and while we are heading there, we're going to talk about one thing about the RS660, and that is how capable is it to ride this twisty, mountainous roads that are up here in the Ozarks. Let's talk about it. Look at this beautiful bridge, guys. We're about to head into the twisties, heading to Eureka Springs. As you already know, I have ridden in this area before. I have taken the Kawasaki Z900. Actually, it was a couple Labor Days ago, or a couple Labor Day weekends ago, where I took the Z900 from Dallas all the way up here to the Ozarks and explored a little bit for like 3 days. I was quite nervous about taking the RS660, honestly, guys. Like, I was very undecided about what motorcycle I wanted to take on this trip. I had a talk with Urban Moto, who basically said that if it was him, he would definitely take the RS660 because it is made for these curves, right? Now, I have never taken a sport bike into the Ozarks. I have never taken anything but a naked bike, which is my Z900, on these twisty curves. It's comfortable, it's good on gas, and it could take the curves. As you already know, with the track days I've done, it was easy to take these curves with the Z900. Now we're going to talk specifically now about the RS660 capabilities in the twisties. We did a full day of riding yesterday. We were able to really get a feel for a bike. James on the Indian, you know, did things on that Indian he never thought he could. Me on the RS660, never been on a sport bike before. I think we rode for like 8 hours yesterday. So we're going to talk about certain criterias that I look at regarding the aspects of actually riding these bikes deep in the mountain twisties. Woo! One thing that you cannot disregard is going to be comfortability. When you ride out here, you're going to be riding for hours on end, and in order to be able to ride hours on end, you need to be comfortable, guys. The RS660 performs when it comes to comfortability. Does your back hurt a little bit? Yes. Not as bad as you would be on a R6 or a Ninja 636 or a Daytona. You are a little bit upright, and you are a little bit in that upright position that makes it easier for you to get into a comfortable position whenever you are hitting roads that are a little bit more straighter and a little bit more elevated. Now where the RS660 shines the most are in these corners, guys. You just cannot beat the smoothness of the RS660 in these switchbacks, in this freaking lovely corners that Arkansas has to offer. And as long as you hit these corners on this RS660, you are not gonna regret bringing this motorcycle to the Ozarks, guys. Now, talking about the brakes on the RS660, I have never ever felt more comfortable in my life with brakes. The Z900 has some amazing brakes, the naked bikes have some amazing brakes, but this RS660 is just unbeatable when it comes to this ride. A lot of times when I come into these corners, I'll put 2 fingers up on these brakes, right? And just getting down to the speed I want to take the corner at, it's real quick, it's real strong, and all I've used in this entire trip is going to be front brakes. I have not used the rear brakes at all in this entire trip. Now, James couldn't fathom the fact that I don't use rear brakes, because on his Indian he has a single brake disc on his front and I believe a dual brake disc on his rear, and he couldn't fathom, you know, the fact that I do not use both brakes. But these brakes up front, these Brembo calipers, are amazing. Even if it's just the stock ones, guys, it's amazing up here. I haven't had any brake fade, but again, I'm not riding this as hard as someone else could be. for sure. Now leading, no pun intended, leading on to another category, we're gonna talk about the electronics of this bike. The traction control, y'all. I have it in a normal setting for dynamic mode on traction control, and this bike has probably saved my life a few times. We hit a very curvy, steep mountain road earlier yesterday, and as we were riding, it had just snowed and they had a whole bunch of sand on the road that we did not notice, and as we were riding in that area, I began to slip, and I could feel the traction control get on as soon as that slippage occurred. It did it probably 2 or 3 times the entire time we've been out here, and you know, me never having access to electronics is definitely a new thing, and I need to have it. It is a little bit scary, I must admit, but I gotta say, man, that I have to have a little bit more confidence in these electronics if I am going to ride this bike the way it needs to be ridden. The traction control saved my life, and I am thankful for it, especially on the rear wheel as I slid out a couple of times on those turns. Always thought that riding in these roads, it would be easier to ride on a more torquier motorcycle like the Z900 or Urban Moto's MT-09, but with the feet pegs back and you kind of leaning forward, you dip into these curves so much more easier. You're able to like press on your brakes and cut into a turn way easier, and we got a little bit of free play right now with that car being out of the way. It just makes it so much easier, guys. The bike is smooth, the acceleration is smooth, the brakes are smooth. It just makes it so much easier. We're gonna hit some corners right over here. Just how it dips into these corners, and the acceleration, the throttle, it's so damn smooth, guys. It's butter smooth. Like, I cannot explain it any other way. I'm trying to think of different words, but it's so hard to explain it. If y'all have never taken the RS660 out into these mountains, guys, you have to do it. It is a must. We got another corner right here. Woo! Throttle it out. Perfect. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to see the shenanigans that go on during these trips, make sure to follow me on Instagram at moto_ret. I appreciate you guys for spending some time on this ride with me, talking about the RS660 on these mountain roads. Got this corner again. You could have been doing anything in this entire world, and you chose to spend a little bit of that time with your boy. I'll see you guys in the next one, y'all. Peace.